So I want to build a personal book tracker API using FastAPI and SQLite. Now I am specifying to create a project structure, right? Including main.py, a database.py for SQLAlchemy setup, and a models.py for book schema. The book should have ID, author, status, and rating. So this is the prompt that I am giving, and I am asking it to create a personal book tracker. And I want to create an API for this, right? Using FastAPI. So I'm using the agent version, Copilot, GitHub Copilot agent version. Let's see what it does. Oh. So it is actually looking at a book tracker. I don't want it to look into book tracker. Let me just stop it. Do not check the files in book tracker. Use book tracker 1 for creating this project. Let's see if it listens to me. So you can see here, see it has started creating those files. Database.py, models.py, main.py, right? So the option which was fourth option in the poll, wherein creating initial project configurations and the boilerplate codes, is something that our agent is already doing it, right? And it has shared it with us that what all files it has created. So you can see it has created database.py. If you want to look at it, just click on it and you will see this is the file. Oh, this actually, now what has happened is the Zoom pop-ups that are coming in actually led to this. Create the files again as they got deleted. Now because of the Zoom pop-ups, actually the code was not saved. So I asked it to create it again. Now when you're doing it, you can also look at it and you'll see these will also get updated. See, now I've used 42% of chat messages and 6% of inline suggestions. So the more you use, you will have to keep a track of these things as well, right? So I have 5 files. See, it has created a database. So I asked it to use SQLAlchemy. So it's using SQLAlchemy. It has created a database here. I can keep it. If I look at main.py, see, it has created a main.py for me. I can use this as well, right? It's running. So it's created a class. This is for creating a book, updating a book. Then this is for creating a API, fast API. It's calling the fast API and getting the books, getting one book and updating a book. So it's getting all of those things, delete book, get books by status. So it has done all of those things, and I will keep this as well, right? Now this is the requirements.txt file. I'll keep this as well for now. And it has also created a readme file. See, this has all the readme function as well, right? So I'll keep the readme, and this is models.py. which is storing the book details. So I'll keep this as well, right? Now that I have the file, let me run this. See, I'm doing it for the first time. So. Those who have used FastAPI before, see, it said that my application is running on 127.0.0.1 and 8000. 8000 is the port number. 127.0.0.1 is the localhost IP address, right? So I can either use this or I can use localhost directly, right? Both of those should work. See, personal book tracker API is running. And if I pass /docs, I will get the same page. So with just one clear prompt, it has created a proper application for me, which is an API, which let's see if it is working or not. Let me create a book here, right? So I can just try it out. Say, let's give me a title. Let's give a title book 1, author 1, status to read, rating is, say for an example, 4. Let me save this. Now, if I get the books, and try it out. If I execute it, see, I just created a book and it is returning. So the code, I did not write even a single line of code. I just gave it an instruction. Using the instruction, it completed the complete application and gave me what exactly I needed, right? So it is as simple, and this is the agent mode that we used, right? Now I want to create a Streamlit application on top of it, right? Which is where I'm going to use the inline coding feature, right? The prompt I've just shared with, it's here. Just above your message is my prompt, right? So the agent mode actually created things for me, and I now have at least the boilerplate and the basic code that I needed, right? Now, let me create a new file here called app.py, right? Now, I will use the inline version wherein I will generate the code one by one. So, create a Streamlit app to track using SQLAlchemy. Streamlit will be used and FastAPI for backend, right? To update statuses, right? So let's start, and it has now started giving me suggestions as well. From typing import list, let's move to the next line. Now let's start creating the Streamlit application. So we are doing it. Now here, I think it's not going in the right direction, right? So I will tell import Streamlit as st, right? Now the inline suggestions were not actually coming out to be as good. So I started writing the initial one, right? That I want to import Streamlit first. Now the API URL is going to be localhost 8000, the one that we are using, right? And now I'm defining a function get books, which calls the API and gets the name of the books, right? Similarly, I will have a function called add books, which is adding the book, right? So I'm now creating the line of code one by one, and I will now create a Streamlit application, right? Now I'll take a quick pause just to understand if all of you are with me so far, if you have any questions. We've just tried the agentic mode that did everything for me. Now we are writing this in an inline mode, wherein we are typing one line and asking the Copilot to complete it for us. So are you all with me so far? This exactly is vibe coding, Raj. This is how you vibe code. Perfect. So Darshan, you're sending it on a private chat. It's not good for production. See, this is giving you a initial code, right? All the testing, all the guardrails that have to be put, either you write it clearly in the prompt or you make sure that these things are implemented properly. Don't take the code which LLM has written directly to production. We have seen cases where a lot of founders who are not technical took the help of GitHub Copilot, Claude Code, generated an application, and using the application, they just hosted it, and eventually they lost a lot of money because of that, because proper checks were not implemented, right? So before taking anything to production, make sure you write all the test cases properly, and make sure that you test everything from the security aspect as well, right? I'll check this session towards the end of the session, right? Uh, I'll have a look at it, what you've sent. And a suggestion, please use the private chat instead of uh, the normal one, or the private one, because it becomes difficult for me. So Dhanadev, see, how do you switch between agentic mode and the normal mode? Basically, if you start writing it in the notebook, in the code file, this is the inline version that you're using. And if you write it here, this is more of a agentic version, right? This is where the agentic autonomous agent takes over. Your code completes everything from end to end. And here you get the implementation from inline version. That's the only difference. That's how you switch. No different way of doing it. Both things can work in parallel as well. How can we manage the quality of the code? The quality of the code can be managed by making sure that you write the prompt with proper context, give the proper constraints, all the guardrails, make sure the output schema is defined properly, the input is defined properly. So you have to make sure that whatever you want the agent to do is properly, precisely written in the prompt. That's how you do it. And the second way is, whenever the agent writes a code, it asks you to accept it. If you think it's not up to the mark, tell the agent to rework on it. Say for an example, when we started with this application, I already have a similar application in Book Tracker, a different folder. It started reading from there and said that I have everything there. I don't need to create anything. To which I then asked it to do it in a different folder and create a different application here, and it did it, right? So that's how you make sure that it's not going in the wrong direction. Even in the inline version, you saw it started importing FastAPI, all the models and all of those things, databases. We didn't want it, right? We want to use FastAPI here. So I gave it the initial import that I want to do it on Streamlit, and basis that it then started writing the other code, right? So that's how you control things. If token is finished, see, we need to take care of this thing. As of now, it's a free version that we are using, so we don't have any, control over this thing. If token get finished, either go to a premium version. As of now, GitHub Copilot is doing some enhancements, so no premium version is available. But you have to make sure that whatever code that you're writing, keep checking the messages, the usage from time to time, because that will help you understand how many tokens you have left. Right? Uh, if token is finished, take a premium version. No other way if you're heavily dependent on it. So Felix, for security, there are different things that you'll have to do. You'll have to write test cases properly, right? You have to make sure that test cases are written properly, and you are able to check all of those things, right? The second thing is you have to have those guardrails and checks, like normal uh, checks are there, that you do the development in dev mode, then move to QA, do all the testing UAT there, and then move to production. So all of the steps remain the same. The only thing is the code which the developer was writing will now be written by an agent, right? But the security testing, the guardrail testing, the normal test cases, the QA role will still be there. So we are not bypassing anything. We are just making our monotonous job a little more easier, right? That's the only thing. Okay, so now we have updated the book edition, added a book, we got the books. Okay, now I just asked it to write the main part of the book, right? Now see, it has written main and created a Streamlit app, right? This is an app that's there. Now if I keep it, I have the main version which I wrote step by step instead of doing it all agentic. So now I have the Streamlit app as well, right? I need two terminals now. One for running the FastAPI, and the other one to run the Streamlit application. So for those of you who are hearing Streamlit for the first time, for the sake of simplicity, it's just a UI application that helps you just visualize some of the things, right? So we are just running Streamlit application to make sure that things run. We can have a UI version as well for our application, right? Let me just see if this is working fine. Execute this. This is working fine. Let me run the Streamlit version as well. All right. So Streamlit run app.py. So this one is running on 8501. And you can see Let's debug why this is not running. So it got stopped. Why did it get stopped? Okay. So if you look at it, see, now I have a book tracker, just a UI, which gets the list of the books, book 1, book 2, right? If I add a new book, say book 2, the author name is author 2. If I add it, let's see, it says book added successfully, and it is getting the book as well, right? Now let us see in this as well if it has added it. See, in the database as well, it got added, right? So we just created a Streamlit application using the inline tool that gets the books and also helps us add a new book to it, right? So we just created a UI version, and here we are just getting add a new book, right? And this is the list of books that it is getting, right? So very basic Streamlit application we created.